Hello there, good morning, happy new week. It is Saturday, Crystal's gone to the hairdressers and I am left to my own devices, which broadly means procrastination. But today I need to do some tidying because my parents and my brother and the boys are coming round tomorrow for Mother's Day. So this place needs to be a little more family friendly than it currently is, and there needs to be some floor space.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Before we get going, 10,000 steps continues. Can you see? Can it focus? Wobble, there we go. So you can see today I haven't done my goal, but every other day I have. So I'll be going out there into the great blue grey yonder shortly to do some more steps. Here is the link if you wish to sponsor or share. Cancer Research UK would really appreciate any donation you can make. And a new feature is, what am I wearing on my other wrist? At the moment I am wearing a swatch, as you can see, transparent random skeleton this is called, because you can see the working parts and the colour of them is rather random. Every one you buy has a different arrangement. So there we go, that is today's watch. Well, it is quite warm today. It's also threatening to be quite wet, but when you've got to do your steps, you just got to go. Hope for the best. Do a bit of a loop, and I need to end up back at Marks and Spencer so I can buy things to eat for lunch and dinner. So hopefully this will only take an hour and a half. Ha ha. Never quite does. This is day 10, and it's the first day where I've thought, won't it be nice when this is done? And I just have to do my usual whatever 6,000-7,000 that it comes with a normal day's routine. But it's not a bad day for it really. Tomorrow's going to be more challenging to do 10,000 when I've got 5 people in tow, so I think I'll have to get some early ones in. I'm sure I've banged on many times about how spring's my favourite time of year, blah blah blah, etc. Whatever. It's obvious why, flowers and that. But it's especially true inside of Kew, and the simple reason for that is that we always used to come here around my birthday, which is, as you might know, beginning of April. And so this is kind of ingrained into me, and it was another reason why it was ever so nice to get married in spring at Kew, because it's such a special time of year, especially here. I mean, when it starts getting warmer like it has today, it's really noticeably different. You start being able to smell the flowers and the grasses and what have you, and it sort of comes back to life. Here's some of the new path they put down, which is nice. Nice they've reopened the path as well for this weekend, because it's the last weekend of the Orchid Festival and I think some of the exhibitions at the Marion North Gallery. But I just, on an unrelated note, I just passed a Pokemon Go group who'd come in specifically to do Pokemoning. Who knew that was still a thing? But I mean, fair play. Any excuse to come into the gardens, I think, is fine. And as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. I'm nearly back. Or rather, I'm nearly at M&S, so I can do some shopping. So you can either look at this as a walk that ended in shopping, or just a very long way of getting to the shops. I choose the latter. Good morning. Welcome to Monday. After Sunday's general sort of Mother's Day shenanigans and small person chaos, which actually went very well, to be honest. It's almost a nice change of pace as we go to work. Now look at the Thames. Look how still it is, apart from that one speedboat that went past. We must be very close to high tide, so the river's not really flowing in either direction. This morning I'm walking in, but the challenge is going to be to get somewhere, anywhere, before the rain arrives properly. Turns out high tide hasn't quite arrived, but it's not going to be that high today, so I was busy worrying about whether I'd make it round to this part before the high tide appeared and cut on my path. But actually, it's the water from the sky that's slightly more perturbing. But anyway, we are making progress, and when you're sponsored walking, you can't always pick and choose. So there's the link 10,000 steps every day march is what I'm doing for Cancer Research UK. Every pound counts. Please share and donate if you can. And my progress so far is I have, as of this morning, done 95 kilometres and 114,000 steps in the first 11 days. Blossoms are coming out. I am now going along the Legamutton Nature Reserve path. I thought I'd have a change. Me and every parakeet in southwest London. But it's actually quite muddy, which is not a huge surprise, but I thought it might be a bit more sheltered. That was an error of mine. Happy tree. See how the actual nature reserve looks when we get around this little bend. The answer is beautiful, but damp, unsurprisingly. Well, that hasn't taken very long. Maybe the wet weather has inspired me to get the hell out of the way. So, but anyway, nearly at Hammersmith Bridge. People are doing rowing practice at 8:30 in the morning in the rain. One of the many reasons I'm not a rower. I'm going to get on a crowded, warm and probably quite humid underground train, so that's going to be excellent. Good morning, happy Tuesday. So today I am working this evening at in Battersea Park at Battersea Evolution, which is their venue there, filming the Publican Awards. But before then, got some walking to do. I'll probably do a fair bit then, so I probably don't have to do all the walking at this point. But it is quite pleasant today, and it's going to be very nice tomorrow. And then winter's coming back. I thought we were done with that. In fact, I was really, really hoping we were done with that. Because we're going away to East Sussex this weekend. And it's going to be cold, and that's annoying because we were going to go around and see the countryside, and we'll have to dress up quite warm to do it now. Anyway, before we go, let's just see what I'm wearing. On my wrist today, as it was yesterday, is the Swatch Brussels Special Mannequin Piss with changing coloured pee that you can adjust with the date winder. So that's quite fun. I'm not feeling awfully inspired today. Sometimes you get days like that where you're just not really, I don't know, firing on all cylinders. I'm going to attempt to change this by experiencing fresh air and flowers and making the most of spring before it disappears again at the weekend. Damn you, weather. Well, there's some nice daffodils over there, but apparently some woman was picking them the other day brazenly with a pair of scissors. Un-effing believable. Anyway, also really stupid. Don't pick daffodils that are already open. They won't last more than about a day and a half. So we're going to do a little loop, come back. I'm only doing some of the steps today because I'm walking around, as I mentioned, this evening a lot, so that'll do me probably the rest. Well, is it today Tuesday? Yeah, this week is a little manic, and next week is looking more manic by the minute. So any quietness that I've had in January and February is now evaporated thoroughly. So the daffodils looking pretty good. They recover quite well from the snow, from the first set of snow I should say. Really hoping there isn't a second. There is the occasional non-yellow daff that's sort of hidden. It's quite nice. This is Chelsea Bridge Road. You can see Battersea Power Station in the background. I'm just going to cross the bridge, which is over here just on the right, and enter Battersea Park and head to Evolution, which is in the middle. Before we get there, I just wanted to share with you what I just saw, which is pretty much the manifestation of the word dickhead. Somebody in quite an expensive car had bought cheap, small Union Jack stickers to put over the EU flag that sits on the European number plates on a lot of, or most of, new British cars. It really summarised everything that is wrong with Brexit. Somebody's come up with a brilliant system for uniformly labelling the number plates of all European countries, and someone in their enormous arrogance has decided to go and buy a load of 30p stickers, which had the wrong blue, I should add, and weren't actually properly proportioned, to slap over the top. It is just the perfect metaphor for what is going on. And if that's you, Congratulations, you are a massive dickhead. It's nice that the sun has come out to celebrate this river crossing. Now, because all but one of the London boroughs exist on only one side of the Thames, the exception being Richmond, which is on both, it means I'm now crossing from the London borough, Kensington and Chelsea, where there is the Royal Chelsea Hospital there behind the trees, which is where the Chelsea pensions come from. Crossing over the bridge to the London borough of Wandsworth, where Battersea is, which is that park right there. And you did briefly glimpse the sunset, but it is quite good. So there we are. Good morning, it is 7:45. I went to bed 6 hours ago from the Publican Awards, so I'm very tired. Hoping this will wake me up. I need to do a few more steps today because I was still walking last night at 1 o'clock, so actually I've started this whole step process. There's more things I need to talk about today, but let's get a bit further on down the route and hopefully be a bit more woken up before we get into anything deep. Right then, that was 15 minutes. If I'm not awake now, we're done. Let's start with the saddest news today. Last night, Professor Stephen Hawking passed away. I mean, pretty much everyone's heard of him. He is that good a scientist that he crossed over into popular culture. Truly the Einstein of his generation. From this point forward, people will be called the Professor Hawkins of their generation. I remember getting his book, A Brief History of Time, I think when I was 14 or 15 years old, and completely changed the way I saw the world. It just made you think about the complex systems that govern the things that we see as quite mundane, and how wonderful science is and how incredible learning is. So that was a really, I'm not sure a turning point, but a real eye-opener for me at that age. Professor Hawking was a proud European, a very, very intelligent man, obviously. And it might seem very sad that he's died aged 76, and it is. But bear in mind, he was only given 5 years to live when he was about 25, so fair play for beating the odds so spectacularly. If this is the trigger that makes you think, everyone always goes on about Brief History of Time, maybe I should read it. Well, you should. You can get an illustrated version, which is actually very helpful, which is an excellent book to just sort of flick through over a couple of months and try and understand some of the wonders of the universe. But failing that, just go and see Brief History of Time, a biopic about Hawking's earlier life, because it's excellent. And the easiest way to honour a man like that is just to see the wonder in the world that surrounds you. Now today is supposed to reach 14 or 15 degrees in some places, which is a far cry from where we were at the start of this walkathon. But most impressively, the temperature is going to plummet from the highest temperature this year today on Wednesday, so that by Saturday it's back to highs of 2 degrees again. Yay! So that's weird and wonderful, although apparently it's not going to snow now, so that's something at least. But it is gonna, winter is gonna have an encore, as it were, this weekend, whilst we're away in East Sussex, so that's a bit annoying. But we'll just have to dress up warm and fight on through. You can tell I'm not really awake yet because I was supposed to cross the river at the last bridge and I haven't. Whoops. I mean, it all goes to the same place, isn't it, in the end? But I was hoping to walk on the sunny side, as you can see. Boo to me. So nice today. the birds all agree. I'm very much going to miss this when the Arctic winds return. How frustrating. It's not that I'm a warm weather person per se, it's just that I'm a blue weather person. That's the best way of putting it. I just need to see the sun and feel that things are growing. That's probably the best way, rather than the stagnation of the cold. And when it's really windy, I mean, just, you know, it hurts your face. That's what it comes down to. It hurts your face. So I'm going to make the most of this and hope that this returns before March is up, because I thought I'd done all the difficult walking bits and that it was all going to be plain sailing. It never is like that though, is it? That's naive on my part. So in case it's not obvious from this walk, I am going into USP today. It's the last bit of setup this week for the Formula 1 season that starts a week on Friday, which I'm not looking forward to. And then tomorrow I'm filming another award show, and Friday I'm editing one. So it's going to be awards after this. Last night we had Rob Ryden hosting, who was excellent as always. Very, very entertaining indeed, and probably worth the admission price alone. I found out a couple of days ago that one of the people I used to work for at Global is losing their job, and in a true moment of Schadenfreude, I feel very happy. And I know that's bad. Well, apparently it's bad. I don't know it, to be honest. What I would say is that feeling happy for people you like succeeding is exactly the same emotion as feeling happy for people you dislike failing, and it is the very nature of humanity. It doesn't really matter whether it's supposed to be good or not. It is all just part of our tribal instinct. You want your tribe to succeed, and you want the other tribes to fail, because that gives you more chances to succeed. So I don't think I do feel bad about it. I just feel happy that they lost their job. So hate on me if you want. How is feeling happy at the failure of people you dislike any different from feeling sadness at the success of people you dislike? And there's very little way you can deny that you don't feel sad when you see people that you really dislike doing well. For example, the current President of the United States, or the political party you didn't vote for winning. So I see that as two sides of the same coin. Anyhow, the world has woken up and sunny Hammersmith awaits around this corner. So I think we'll wrap this bit up here, and what will be a momentary cut for you will be life itself for me, existing between the clips. Last thought, sleepy Toby. It's just occurred to me, why is there a JCB parked at the end of my road? Good morning. Today's going to be a bit manic. I'm seeing a lot of co-ops this morning, starting at the Oxo Tower. And then I've got to go back home, have lunch, read some ball papers, get changed, get my camera kit, go back out, film an award show this evening. And then I'm probably going to want to sleep for a week, which I can't do because I've got to then edit an award show in the morning. So I'm back. That was an interesting morning. I'm sorry I didn't film at their people's private homes, so I didn't think it was really appropriate. But to give you an explanation of where I've been around Blackfriars Bridge and the South Bank there, which has a fair number of co-ops, including, as I mentioned, one in the Oxo Tower and another 3 around the corner there. And then we went down to Deptford, to the Deptford Housing Cooperative, which is recently under management, and had a look in some of their their rooms and what have you, to understand where people live and what the challenges are that face them. And that was very informative. And we had lots of very interesting conversations just about co-op homes and the future generally. And it was a very good, constructive morning, and I feel like it was very worthwhile. And now I've got to go home, read a few more wallpapers for HP, send some notes back to them, get changed, and then go to the Royal Lancaster for some more award show filming tonight. Over the last couple of weeks I kept saying, I'll show you that lovely new watch I've bought, my new dress watch, and I keep saying, I'll get around to showing you, but I've been wearing it all day today. It's the first time I've worn it out of the house, and so I might as well show you at this point. Luckily I have a loop, so we can have a look at it a bit closer than just like, oh look, there's a watch on the other side of the room. So there it is. It is a Tissot Powermatic 80. It's a chronometer, which means it's one of the most accurate mechanical watches you can buy. And it's got this really nice textured surface in the middle, which I think you can just about make out there. And this lovely textured bevel around the outside as well, which is really nice. There it is, the weight for the automatic movement, and you can see the balance spring going backwards and forwards there. It's an open back case, as is very much the fashion at the moment, but it's really nicely finished, and it's a very impressive little watch. Hello, good afternoon. It's Friday, which is fantastic in many ways. It means no more random late nights filming award shows this week. It means no sort of strange trips to Deptford, although that was very enjoyable. It means that we're going away on our little trip to East Sussex tomorrow. However, it also means that the snow is coming imminently, which I'm not looking forward to, especially it's quite nice today. And it also means that the Australian Grand Prix is only 1 week away. And that I'm really not looking forward to. So let's focus on the positives. I'm going to go get some food, and then we're going to have a little trip tomorrow. In anticipation of the weekend's activities, let's do trip as the word of the week. Not as in to fall, but as in to travel. So the trip. So first of all, in German, the trip is die Reise. Die Reise is the trip in German, and in Italian it's il viaggio. Il viaggio is the trip in Italian, and that was this week's word of the week. Honestly, I do feel a little bit sort of washed out today. I think it's just a sort of lot to travel in various different places, late nights and all sorts. It's slowly taking its toll. Luckily I'm at home today. I've got to do some steps, obviously. Might pop into the garden. It's actually quite warm, even though it looks like it's about to snow. So all this nearly spring talk hasn't paid off, has it? I know spring technically starts on like Tuesday or whatever, but it's probably going to be about 6 or 7 degrees on Tuesday. Roll on April. I'm sure April will not disappoint, as it never does, because, you know, wedding anniversaries, birthdays, and it never rains in April. So I'm off to do my steps today around Kew, the last warm day for a while, and this is halfway through my 10,000 steps a day in May. May's obviously got 31 days, so it's kind of halfway through. Day 16 is about right. To give you an update, I have done, as of today, 200,000 steps, and actually I'm not sure what that converts to in kilometres. Bear with me, I'll go and have a look. That is 135 kilometres, so that is quite impressive. So my original estimate of 250 kilometres in the month is about right. It's an alarming amount to walk when you say it out loud. 250 kilometres, that's insane. I'll have to look at what that equates to on a map later, see where I've effectively walked to. But I do hope you can donate, even if it's only £1 or £2, with a bit of gift aid. It all goes to Cancer Research UK. Very worthy cause. Obviously, I'm sure you know people who've been affected by cancer. Everybody does. And if you haven't, then I'm afraid to say that in all likelihood you will be at some point. But survival rates are improving because of people like Cancer Research and the work that they do. So please donate, and I'm just going to keep walking. So as the last part maybe of our once a month monthly wedding anniversary activities, this weekend we're going to Wakehurst. Wakehurst is the sister garden of Kew, and you can get into it with your Kew membership, and we've just cashed in our voucher that we got from the wedding, which gives us joint membership of Kew, and the cards arrived on Wednesday, so that's what we're going to be using at the weekend. And that's why we're going at the weekend, because we said, oh, we must come back to Wakehurst. We were there the day after Della and Steph's wedding, and we found a little cottage to stay in, which is what we're going to do tomorrow evening. I want to say the last part, that's probably not that's not wholly true. I mean, obviously we're doing something for our wedding anniversary. We're going to the Cotswolds in April, and we got lots of things on in May, and in reality we might just scale them back a bit, so they're just, you know, weekends that we put aside for each other, rather than full-on trips. Some of them might be full-on trips, but probably a lot less. And we sort of picked it up that we would do one thing a month, and they were quite extravagant to start with, and well, there were holidays and trips and what have you, and in the last few months they've been a little bit more, well, have they? I mean, February was a little was just a nice meal out and a wander around Chelsea. That kind of thing is probably a bit more on the level that we might do for the next few months when the summer appears. But yeah, so we're going to Wakehurst on Saturday. We're staying in a place called Horsted Keynes on Saturday night, and then Sunday we might have a go on the Bluebell Railway if it's not snowed in, or visit Sheffield Park, which is a National Trust property. Well, there's lots of things to do around that part of the world. It's very green, and as long as it's not blizzard conditions, it will be very pleasant. It's very hard to imagine it being cold walking around here. It's ever so warm. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping they're just wrong on the weather forecasting front, and they get to see some daffodils and crocuses and that kind of thing. And the top of the pagoda has just appeared, so we'll get a bit closer, see if we can see it. So the roof has been taken off, the covering, and you can see, maybe you can't because the sun's right behind it, but the lightning conductor aerial is now exposed in all its golden glory. As they said when I went to the talk the other day, cover's going to start coming off. It should open at the end of May. You'll start seeing the dragons quite soon, and you'll see the roof, which is now a red colour. It used to be a very dark blue, but we're not quite there yet. Maybe sometime next week, although who knows whether I'll be able to get in there next week. But the week after, certainly. I realise these vlogs the last couple of weeks when I've been walking have been quite long, so I'm going to sign off here with a view of the pagoda and say thank you very much for watching. I do hope you'll subscribe, and that I'll see you next week. And don't forget, you can always donate via the link. Thank you very much indeed.